day 3. I'm so excited because if you haven't seen the last 2, you have to, because Michelle, Traci have just given such gold to us over the last 2 days. And that's not what I provide. I don't provide the gold. I provide the wheelbarrow to put it in, because I'm going to do some practical stuff. I'm going to get you to realize that you have way more time than you think you do. And we're going to take that time and we're going to look at what we do with it. And then I'm going to have a fun little exercise to get you to do some confidence building based on what Traci was talking about, but it's just a little different way of doing it. So first things first, creating time. So when we're talking about all of this stuff the last couple of days, we need time to build our confidence. We need time is that resource that which is limited. But sometimes what happens is we kind of go for like a week, a month, and we're just caught in a loop, and we haven't really done anything we thought we were going to do, but time has passed us by. So we're just going to master time, because time's ticking. So here we go. Michelle talked about this on day 1, and it's the busyness of being busy. And you block out time to do work on your business or maybe something for your personal growth. And by the end of that couple of hours, you still haven't done what you really wanted to do. You've been busy. You might have done some emails if it's a work thing, or clean your desk, but you actually didn't do what you needed to do. And Traci talked about this on day 2, where you need to be clear and focused and be on track of one thing. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the other thing we have a problem with sometimes, and again, no judgment, is when we have a cluttered mental clutter, that takes time. It sucks like your creativity, it sucks away your productivity. And so we want to identify if we have some mental clutter. And what is it? It's like kind of like the junk drawer of your mind. It's got just so much crap in it. And like I said, it's a big time sucker, because it takes away your productivity. So what are some sources of mental clutter? Your digital overload. We all know that being on our phone all the time. Multitasking, because I know you think you can do it, but studies have proven that multitasking is not the best way to get things done. Sorry. I know some of you can, but most of us can't. And then also our physical environment provides some mental clutter. And there's definitely emotional baggage, but that's, again, not my area of expertise. So I'm not going to go into that, but I just want you to understand that provides mental clutter. And so we want to, again, do some toxic declutter and just, we want to do some techniques to declutter our mind, because this is all part, and you're going, what does this got to do with time, Traci? But it's all part of it. You need to declutter your mind. And that's like, again, turn off Instagram, do single tasking. Don't do multitasking. So now that we've decluttered a mind, we're going to look and see how we spend our time, because now our mind is a little bit clearer. We're going to look on how we're going to spend some time, and we're going to do a reality check that you guys might not like me for, but we're going to do it anyways. So we're going to do a personal time audit. And what does that look up? So if you're not tracking your time, you're most likely not managing it. So we are going to get a phone. Yeah, we're going to use our phone for this, and we're going to set a timer for every 2 hours. And we're going to make sure we have a really annoying notification sound so that we won't ignore it. And when that ringer hits, or that timer rings, we are going to make sure we stop whatever we're doing. And you can either grab a notebook, or you can do this digitally, easy for me to say. And we're going to jot down what we did for the last 2 hours, everything we did, and how long did each activity take. And we're going to also ask ourselves, was it productive? Or did we just, go through Instagram? And we're going to do this for 10 days. And we're not going to have any cheat days. And we're going to do it for 10 days. And the reason we are is because if you do it for 48 hours, you're not seeing patterns. But if you do it for 10 days, and I know that this seems like a big to do, but it's actually falls into place what I'm going to talk about in a minute, where, leverage your time properly. If you do this now and really see for the next 10 days how you're spending your time, it's a game changer. So you're going to see the patterns that happen after 10 days. And you got to be like brutally honest. You can't cheat. You can't, like, if you're spending 45 minutes like stalking your ex-husband, put that down, right? If you're looking on social media, put it down. Don't be like, oh, you're the only one looking at this stuff. On the other hand, as was being mentioned throughout this whole summit, be kind to yourself. Don't worry. We're just taking the information. We're not judging what we're doing. We're just taking the information. So now you got your time. So after 10 days, you've got your 10 days of information. And we're going to now group what we did into categories: eating, sleeping, commuting, working, watching Netflix. And we're going to look, and we're going to do this by category and across 10 days. And I'll have a PDF for you, so you don't have to, write this all down. I'll send it to you. And you're going to look at the patterns and see what emerges. Like, you're going to see how, like, maybe you spent 3 hours looking for your keys. Who knows? We're going to see where your time's going. So we're not judging, because now that we know how our time's spent, we can make choices. Because really what you're doing is giving yourself a life receipt. You know what I mean? This is your life in hours and minutes. Like, it's really powerful. Trust me on this, because it's surprising how we spend our time. So if we're happy with how we spend our time, great. But if we're not, we're going to fix it. And we're going to answer 4 questions. What do you want less of? What do you want to do more of? What do you want to quit doing? And what do you want to start doing? And it falls in line with exactly what Michelle and Traci have been talking about. This is awesome. Okay, so you want to be honest with yourself, because your future self will really, really, really thank you. Okay, so if you do this, on average, most people find at least 7 hours of time that they have been wasting. And you now can actually look at how you're spending your time and replace it with powerful change agent moving items, which have all been talked about in the last 2 days. So we've found time. And like I said, on average, 7 hours, like some people get up to 14. So really, really take the time to do this, because it is so powerful. So again, following up on the ladies, we have this time. How are we going to invest it? We want to make sure we're not just doing to-do things. We actually want to leverage our time that will make. It's kind of like we have liabilities and assets, and if we're just doing traditional to-do lists, that's like a liability. It's like a laundry list of things to do, and it's usually the same stuff, just on different days. And we usually are very reactive to it, like, oh, we're out of milk, let's go buy groceries. Well, we want to do more of leverage lists. Oh, I need my notes. And leverage lists are when you do tasks and you set them up so that there'll be create more effectiveness in your life. So that example I just said about the milk, maybe you set up a grocery service where you actually are having your groceries delivered. So now that's no longer something you're thinking about. And that ties in with our mental clutter too, is that your brain only has so much capacity to make decisions. So when we do to-do lists, those are instant gratifications. And when we do leverage lists, those are like, we're actually building up assets for our future, because we're removing a lot of time to-do lists things and creating more time by setting things up that take away from us doing decisions and actually using our time. Another one would be like automatic payments. You're paying your bills monthly, or however you pay your bills, you would set up automatic payments, and then you've just freed your mind from having to remember to do it. It helps with mental clutter. It's a lot, and not another thing you have to really worry about. What else about that? You should always check in too. Like after you've kind of thought about that, you should check back to see if you're really, as decisions come your way, if it's something that is a to-do, and if it is, maybe you can change it to something that's a leverage. And I hope I've explained myself properly on that, because it's a bit of a concept to wrap your head around. Yeah, so I'm just trying to see if I have any other ones. Oh, I like this one. When you make a mental note to catch up with friends. So that could be a to-do, but if you put on your leverage list where you just set up a notification, that's another thing where you're not making a decision and you're being reminded, oh yeah, check in with one of your friends or family. And it's just, again, giving you more time. You're not thinking about things. Okay, so I hope you see that you've got more time, and I hope you see how to invest it wisely. And I, again, would go back to Michelle and Traci so that you understand how you can take this extra time and use it. But I have one last thing that I want to talk about, and it really is perfect for what has been talked about over the summit. And we're going to do, this isn't about time, this is about building self-confidence. And we're going to do it with documenting 30 days of hopefully the changes that you might want to make based on what the ladies have talked about. And this is a video documentation, and all you're going to do, and this is again very powerful because I've done it. It makes it really works, is you're going to videotape yourself little snippets every day for 30 days. And on day one, you're going to ask yourself a big question about your self-confidence. And there's been amazing questions given to you over the last 2 days of what you could ask yourself. But if you ask yourself on day one what you need, what confidence you're looking for, and ask that same question on day 30, I think you'd be really surprised. And so what that looks like is, Traci talked about wins. Just do a little video snippet of you with a win. Oh, I didn't eat ice cream today. Hey, that was great. How do I feel? And capture that celebration. And other ways of doing it is like if you're learning a new skill, capture that. Just a video snippet, but every day. And at the end of 30 days, you are going to be amazed at how you were at the beginning and how you were at the end. Because when you see yourself on video, you tend to sit up straighter. You tend to have more of a voice. You might use your hands, you might not. You start to build confidence just by looking at how you interact with people when you speak. So this is a great exercise. I know it's 30 days, but you actually get really used to it. And it's for you. It's not to be put on social media. It's not to share with your friends unless you want to, but it's just you documenting 30 days of your life. Yeah, and that's it. That's what I got.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I loved the analogy of the wheelbarrow.
Oh, I saw both you and I both wrote that down.
Yeah, that was so good. Like, here was all the nuggets. I'm going to give you the wheelbarrow to carry it in. And that was amazing.
You had gold nuggets in there too, sweetheart.
Yes, you did. Lots of them.
Yours was deposited into that wheelbarrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the whole video thing, I mean, that ties in so wonderful with the celebrations. It's like, I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. And you're right. Like the difference between day 1 and day 30 is going to be substantially different for people if they actually do the exercise.
Well, in your example yesterday, it is a perfect thing if someone was losing weight, because no one remembers what they look like. Like they might see a picture, but they don't really see the difference, that the daily difference, or in learning a new skill, right? If you go, oh, I'm really crappy at this. It's like, no, but you were way more crappy 30 days ago. So look at it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
that's
it is
beautiful.
powerful. It is powerful. And I really want everyone to understand that this is your personal journey. And, because, we all, Traci and me were very not on camera gals. And this is what has made me, I don't give a crap.
Yeah. And I just, the one thing I just want to add to all of this is that it's so easy. The things that we are asking you to do are easy not to do. But the only way you are going to see change and be the change agent in your life is by doing the stuff we've told you to do. And we know that because we are examples of that ourselves.
And I've done time audits, and they are freaking eye-opening.
Brutal.
They're
brutal.
awful.
They're honest. They're like, you can't.
They are so honest. It's sometimes I think time audits are almost as hard as the questions I asked in day one. Because it makes you really look at, did I just spend 45 minutes scrolling through Instagram?
And that's why also the to do over leverage list. Like
I love that. I love the leverage. I love your analogy of applying an asset.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love your analogy with the junk drawer. I was like, oh yeah, I can.
Because if you saw my physical junk drawer, that is exactly what's up here.
Yes, I was like thinking the same thing. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Well, I think this has been so much fun these last 3 days. I just think
great.
I'm really happy of what we've all done. I just think we did a good job. Pat ourselves on the back.
We have to celebrate.
Well done. Great.
Celebrate. And on that note, we also want to celebrate you guys, our viewers, because you took time and watched all 3 days. And we're hoping that we made some form of a small impact in your life and help you to be your own change agent. Now, we would love to hear from you. We would love to know if you would like to see more of these, and if so, what you would like that topic to be on to help us, because we want to make sure we're hitting what you need. If there's anything you wished that was included in these 3 days, also make a comment on that, on what it was, so that would help us in our delivery of the next one. And if anything from the 3 days resonated with you deeper, or you had deeper questions on, and you wish to have an individual conversation with any of us, also make a comment with that, and that person will reach out to you, probably via the email that you use to sign up with us, because that's our passion. Our passion is for every one of you to be your own change agent, to have your own voice, and we're here to guide you through that. So some things could have been unleashed. You could have further questions about, you could have concerns, even if you're fearful. Traci talked a little, that action step to take. That can be taking that action. That first step can be hard. I gave you some hard questions. I know, I've been on the other end of those questions. They're hard. And we just talked about Traci's time audit. What we talked about are easy things to ignore, but if you do them, you get the biggest reward.
So true.
So we hope from the bottom of our hearts you truly enjoyed this. Again, we would love to hear from you and let us know. And until next time, talk to you then.